very good morning everyone, and welcome back to the flight deck. This is Captain Simwings speaking, and it's been a minute. I've been a bit grounded lately, and that's because I was preoccupied with some work and demands from my studies, but today officially marks my return to the cockpit. So for today we are continuing our career series with FlySafair, and it feels great to be back in the seat of this highland bird. So as we've established in the series, our operations are now firmly rooted here in South Africa with our main hub at OR Tambo International Airport. So looking at today's flight profile for the route, we will be departing from OR Tambo International, and we will be making our way down to Cape Town International Airport. And for both of the airports, we will be using the inbuilt scenery that has been provided by them. Well purchased. This is not a sponsored video, well, they have been purchased, yes. And for the aircraft, we will be utilizing the PMDG 737-800 in the FlySafair livery that has been provided by many flight enthusiasts. And then for the immersion setup for today, so just to maintain the highest level of realism for the series, we will be utilizing Beyond ATC for our air traffic control, self-loading cargo to manage our cabin and passengers, and then GSX for all the ground services. And then as a disclaimer, like always, because this is a simulation for your entertainment, I may skip or streamline certain checklists and procedures to keep the pacing tight. And additionally, I might hand over the radios to the Beyond ATC AI assistant during the busy phases of the flight so that I can focus on the manual flight handling and managing the 737. So yes, captains, it's good to be back, and let's get the engine started and prepare our aircraft accordingly. So we are just gonna hop into the aircraft. Lovely. And then I want to open up my Navigraph or Simbrief charts over here, and then just load in our route so that we can just have a look at the flight plan together. So we'll unload our previous flight, and then we'll just import our new flight from Simbrief, which is FAOR to fact. Lovely. And then we can have a view at our flight plan, and then hide this panel. Awesome. Let's make this a bit bigger so that we can see what we're dealing with. Perfect. And then I'm going to minimize it for now and then just prepare the aircraft. So we will head over to our overhead panel, and let's have a look. We don't have any ground power connected, so let's start on our tablet, request the Simbrief data, and then let's go to the ground operations and request the ground power. My flows might be all over the place, you'll just excuse me, it's been a while, so I will get back into the hang of things and establish my flows accordingly so that they are more efficient as we carry on. So the ground power has now been connected. Lovely. We can head back over to our overhead panel, and let's turn on our batteries. Lovely. And then because we have ground power connected, we can turn on the connection to the ground power as well. And then we'll start making our way down. So we'll start with our lights. Logo lights can remain in the off position. The position and strobe lights can be put on steady, and then the anti-collision lights will remain off, as well as the wing lights. Let's continue our flows and have a look. So we will turn on our emergency lights as well, and then we will turn on our probe heats too. Perfect. And then just to get the aircraft started in terms of aligning itself on the GPS, we will turn on our IRSs. So flip both to the nav position and wait for the align sign to illuminate and extinguish, and then we can leave it on the heading and select, and we should know how many minutes we have till alignment which is roughly 8 minutes. Alright, I'm happy with that. That's our aircraft powering on. We can turn off the master caution over there, and then while this is happening, we can pull up GSX as well. And then while we pull up our GSX, I'll have a look. There we go. Hopefully I'll be able to see all my text. I've been struggling to see my GSX notifications in full there, so hopefully it will fix itself. Let's just reload our sim brief, and then as our sim brief, lovely, seems like it's showing correctly now. And then as our sim brief is imported, we can request for the refueling of the aircraft, and we will use the Jet2 and airport stairs. And yes, we can go with Nes Colossal. There we go. Fueling truck is on its way, and while the fueling truck is also making its way here, we can also call up the GSX window, and let's call for the catering service as well. Perfect. Lovely. Right, let's start with our tablet first. I think it's better if we just move to our tablet. I'll move this out of the way, just place it right there. Perfect. And let's just go through a few things. So for today's flight, I just want to grab our departing airport charts. We do need these because we're going to get our frequencies from them, and then we can have a look at the arrival airport as well, which is Cape Town. And then we are just going to pin our chart over there. And then in terms of the pinned charts, we can start with the OR Tambo Airport, and let's have a look at our frequency. So we do have ATIS on 126.2. We are just going to note that. So the departing ATIS 126.2, lovely. And then we do have OR Tambo clearance delivery on 121.7, so we will note that as well. So I am using a spreadsheet alongside all of this, and this is where I'm just noting my frequencies. So we have OR Tambo clearance on 121.7, perfect. And then we have the ground frequency. Let's have a look. We have apron 122.65, OR Tambo ground, also tower 121.9, perfect. And we will just wait for our further feedback from there. And then for the arrival airport as well, because we will be listening on our ATIS, we do have ATIS on 127.0, so I'm just going to note that as well. And then once we are like approximately 100 nautical miles from the arriving airport, we will then listen in on the ATIS to just get an understanding of the conditions for arrival. And then before we get into too much detail, let's tune into our ATIS frequency here at OR Tambo, which is on 126.2, and then just have a listen and make the required notes. So we'll come here, 126.2. Perfect. Then we can listen in and hop outside the aircraft in the meantime. Let me turn on my radios.
Train. Johannesburg Airport information, X-ray 0731 Zulu, surface wind 000 degrees, 4 knots, variable between 320 degrees and 040 degrees. Seating and visibility okay, temperature 18 degrees, depth 0.09 degrees, QNH 1028, landing runway 03 right, departing runway 03 left, transition level 080, temporary flight restrictions are in effect for Johannesburg. Advise on initial contact you have information X-ray. Johannesburg Airport information, X-ray 0731 Zulu, surface wind 000 degrees, 4 knots, variable between 320 degrees and 040 degrees. Seating and visibility okay, temperature 18 degrees, depth 0.09 degrees, QNH 1028, landing runway 03 right, departing runway 03 left, transition level 080, temporary flight restrictions are in effect for Johannesburg. Advise on initial contact you have information X-ray.
Alright, you can turn that off. Perfect. We do have a QNH of 1028, so we can just set that up quickly. So where's our QNH 1028? Perfect. And then while this is happening, I just want to fix something in my settings. Just bear with me. Settings, accessibility. We are just going to turn off the subtitles, and then under the general, have a look at the graphics, and then for anti-aliasing we want to use TAA. Perfect. Confirm. And then frame generation DLSS. That's it. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let us save and let's resume. So it should get rid of the blur effect now. There we go. Yeah, 1028. Well, it is perfect. And then we are departing 03 left. Lovely stuff. Yeah, so let's just call up our GSX to have a look if the fueling is complete. There we go. We have been billed $9,241. So because the aircraft has been fueled, we can then request for boarding.
Boarding requested.
Then we can have a look at our SLC as well, which should kick in shortly. And then in the meantime, we can have a look at our flight plan over here. So we'll do this and then head over to our flight plan. Right, so we are departing OR Tambo International and we are heading to Cape Town. Our expected time of departure is at 8:20 Zulu, with 20 minutes allocated for the let's board the crew, with 20 minutes allocated for any taxiing procedures as well. So we should be out ideally at 8:20, and then we are expected to arrive at 10:50. We're looking at a trip of 1 hour 52 minutes, which isn't too bad. And for today, our cost index is 54, and we've got average winds coming in from 298 at 43 knots, and an average wind component of -0.14. So we do have a headwind ahead of us, which should be impacting the fuel slightly. Our estimated takeoff weight is at 71.6 tons today. So yeah, we are a little bit heavy. And then the allocated or the planned cruising altitude is 32,000 feet. With regards to our trip, like I did say, we have 1 hour 52 minutes ahead of us for the trip. And then for the block fuel, we are carrying 10.1 tons of fuel today. And the Fenres and alternate fuel is at 3.9 tons. The passenger count for today, just want to have a look at that. So where's our packs? Go past this. There we go. So for the packs count, we will be traveling with 175 passengers, carrying cargo of 4.3 tons and a payload of 19.4 tons. And for today's routing, our first waypoint or transition waypoint will be Ragu, and then we will be using Uniform Quebec 10 as the airway leading us through the flight, where our last transition waypoint heading or directing us into the star is the Airdas waypoint, and we have planned to arrive on runway 01 via the Airdas 1 Charlie arrival. Perfect. So we have noted Ragul, and then we can just have a look at our charts quickly. So under search, we will look at our departing charts, and let's have a look at the sets that are available for us to use. You know, I actually forgot that PMDG has allowed us to move the tablet like we do in the 777, so I won't be needing the Navigraph charts there. We will just reposition our tablet when we are inputting our flight plan. So under the seats, we are leaving Ragul. We are expected to depart 03 left, so let's just have a look. This is covering for 21 right. We want to look for 03 left. Let's pen that and let's have a look. So this is covering the 03 left and right. So for 03 left and right, we have Ragul 3 Alpha. So I'm just going to note this. As I'm trying to prepare myself for the possible callouts or readbacks that we'll have to perform with the air traffic control. And then for our departing runway, let's just have a look again for the arrivals. Have a look at the approach charts. We are planning for 01, but I guess we'll fix this the closer we get. The planned start that we do have is Airbus as well. Airbus 1 Charlie. So we can just pin that as well for now and then use it as we continue with the flight. Yeah, let's have a look at our pin charts again. I just want to get the runway heading. So 03 left, we have 036 degrees for our runway heading, which is going to be important for us. Okay, before we carry on, I think we have enough information to request for clearance. So we will then just head over to our radio controls and proceed to request clearance. Let me just turn up my panel brightness a bit. There we go. We're flying in the afternoon, so we do need to have our panels nice and bright because the sun glare will be blinding us a bit. So make sure all our panels are nice and bright, as well as the overhead panel. Make it nice and bright as well. Perfect. Alright, let's tune into our clearance frequency 121.7 and let's ask for our clearance. Perfect. Right. OR Tambo clearance, good morning. This is FAOR 500 with information X-ray requesting clearance to Cape Town International Airport.
Can I see your boarding pass, please? Hello there. Straight to the middle then on the left.
SAFAir 500, Johannesburg delivery. Expect runway 03 left. Ragul 3 Alpha departure. Initial climb to flight level 120. Squawk 4734.
Hello there.
Cleared to Cape Town International Airport. Expect runway 03 left on the Ragul 3 Alpha departure. Initial climb to 12,000 feet. Squawk 4734. SAFAir 500.
Just up there on your right hand side. Can I see your boarding pass, please? Hello there.
SAFAir 500, read back correct. Contact ground 122.651 ready for pushback or engine start.
Ground 122.65.
Hello there. Straight to the middle then on the left. Hi. Your seat is just up there to the right.
Alright, perfect. So we've received our clearance over there. Our squawk code for today's flight is 4734. So we can just insert that and then we can just activate CA only. Perfect. QNH is set correct. And then we were told to tune into ground on 4734 on 121 decimal. Sorry, ground on 122.65. So I'm just going to do that. 122.65. got that
Just up
noted,
there on your right-hand
and then
side.
we can just also tune into 12265, and then we continue with setting up our aircraft. There we go, 12265, perfect. Right, let's head over to our FMC and set up our flight for today.
Hello there. Switch to the middle then on the
Right,
left.
perfect. I think I should just do this first. Call in our tablet, perfect. This gives me a better view. And then let's call up our flight plan for today, because we are going to need our route as we input it in here. So for the position initialization, we are departing FAOR.
803 via India, cross runway 03 left,
pulling our
taxi
left
to holding point
alignment,
Bravo, runway 03 left via India, Alpha
nicely
Bravo.
aligned. Then we can go to the route
runway
page.
03 left, taxi to holding point Bravo, runway 03
And then
left
let's
via
turn down
India,
the radio
Alpha
a bit.
Bravo.
Hello there. Switch to the middle then on the left. Hi.
Yeah, just turn it down a bit, perfect.
Hello
Perfect.
there.
And then we are going to be arriving at FACT, so fact. Perfect. Our flight for today is SFR 500.
Just up there on your right-hand side. When I see your boarding
And then we
pass
can
through,
go to the next
hi.
page.
You'll see just up
So
there to the right.
what we
Hi.
do have, our
You're just up
transition
there on the
waypoint
left.
will be Ragu,
Morning. Mind your step there.
so we can insert that. And then after Ragu, we will be using Uniform Quebec 10 as the airway, and we will be heading to Damdo.
How are you?
And then from Damdo, Uniform
Hello there.
Zulu 26,
Morning. Mind your step there. Just up there on your
and we
right-hand
will
side.
be heading to
Morning.
Airdas.
Mind your step there. When I see your boarding pass through,
And then from Airdas, we will then be arriving via Airdas 1 Charlie and heading to Fact 01. Can activate this, perfect. And then let's go to our departures and arrival. For departures, we have been given runway 03 left via the
hello there.
Ragu
Switch to the middle then
3
on the left.
Alpha,
Hi. You're just up there on the left.
and we can hit execute. Back to our index. For arrival, we are planning for arrival via Airdas 1 Charlie, and then we will get our runway the closer we get
Just
to
up
Cape
there
Town.
on your right-hand side.
Right,
Hi.
I'm happy about
You're
that.
just up there
Go
on the
back
left.
to our route page. Alright, that's all good. Our routing is in there. Let's just go through our legs to just make sure we don't have any unintended discontinuities. So we go to
Hi.
our plan,
It's just up
and
there
then
to
just
right. Hello there.
step through the flight plan. Perfect.
Just up there on your right-hand side.
There we go. Oh, lovely. And then we'll see the via approach that we get, and we'll sort that out as soon as we are close to Cape Town. So I'm very happy with that. All systems can
Hi.
return to
It's
normal.
just up there to right.
20 knots
Hi.
nautical miles should be fine.
Morning.
And then you can go back.
Hi. You're just up there on the left.
Let's continue.
Hello
So
there.
our
Switch to the middle
route,
then on the left.
performance initialization. We're gonna have a look at our weights here that we had planned,
Hello there.
and
The
we
middle
will
then on the
also
left.
look at the payload information that we have on the site, just to make sure it matches. So we are supposed to have a zero fuel weight of 61.6, and we have 61.7, which is perfect. So our zero fuel weight is correct, 61.7. We'll insert that. Our blend fuel, so our block fuel for today is 10.1 tons. Perfect. And then our reserves, so Finres plus alternate is 3.9. Cost index for today
Can I see your boarding pass,
54.
please?
And then our allocated cruising altitude 320, so we will be doing 32,000 feet. And then our winds, we're looking at average winds coming in from 298 at 43 knots.
It's just up there to the right.
Right, our aircraft is almost fully boarded. Transition altitude, they did say that today's transition altitude is 8,000 feet, so we do have that, and that's correct. You can hit execute. Then let's go to our N1 limits page and let's run our performance calculations. So from our performance tools page, let's do this, setting up something on my setup. There we go. All good to go. So from our performance, we are departing 03 left. You can import the weights from the aircraft, import the weather as well, and then hit calculate. So we have a flaps 1 departure. Yeah, we're pretty heavy.
It's just up there to the right.
Flaps 1 departure, takeoff, detent, derated takeoff to 201. And our selected temperature is 20 degrees.
You're just up there on the left.
So we insert 20 degrees, and then we can hit the derated takeoff T01.
Hello there.
Okay, so T01, 20 degrees, and then climb is not derated. Perfect. Let's go to the takeoff page. Next page, runway, surface winds 350 at 6. Runway slope minus 0.4.
Just up there
Perfect.
on your right-hand side.
And then we do have dry conditions. We are all good. Flaps, we have a flaps 1 departure. Takeoff center of gravity 24.4.
It's just up there to the right.
All good. Then I'll take off 153, 154, 158. So 153, 154 and 158. I am happy with that. Let's head to our legs page, route data, request our winds.
Hi. Hello there.
Here we go. Our winds are ready to upload, so we load them in. And we hit execute, then wait for our descent winds as well. There we go, it's all ready. Clear that message, go to the descent page, forecast, and then load in our winds as well. Then we can hit execute. Perfect. I am super happy with this. Let's go to the N1 page. Takeoff is derated, and we have our selected temperature. Perfect. Initial climb for today's flight, they did say 12,000 feet, so we can set up 12,000. And then our V2 is 158. Right, and then our cruising altitude 32,000. Set that up for the pressurization as well. Oh, good. I'm so happy with that. Nice flow so far. Our runway heading, we did say it's 036. Perfect. Can turn on our flight directors, and we can hit VNAV as well as LNAV, because we will be departing via the city. Our squawk code is activated. It is fine. Passengers have loaded onto the aircraft, or they have boarded onto the aircraft. Let's have a look at our SLC. So all passengers are on board. Perfect. Because all our passengers are on board, cabin music is playing, Wi-Fi is suspended. There we go. Perfect. All systems check. Let's then turn on our seatbelt signs. We'll turn on the seatbelt signs for everybody to start buckling up. Okay, seatbelt signs are coming on. Perfect. Alright, we still have some time until departure. I mean, we are supposed to depart at 8:20, so we still do have some time on our hands, and we are still doing good in terms of the time. So what I want to do is I will turn on the forward fuel pumps so that we can start turning on our APU as well. We also do have fuel in our center tank, so it's a good thing to note. And then with the forward fuel pump turned on, we can then proceed to turn on our APU. So flip it, wait for the no pressure light to come on, and then we can hit start. Right, our APU is turned on. We can flip to our APU power, and then we can turn on the APU bleed as well, just to get some air conditioning going through the cabin. Turn on all our fuel pumps. And I had a tendency of forgetting this the last time, but we will turn on our anti-collision light just to let the ground crew know that we are starting up the aircraft. Ground power can be flicked off, and then we can ask for the ground power to be disconnected from the aircraft. Right, perfect. We have about 9 minutes until we have to go. So I am happy with the way our aircraft has been set up for now. Let's pull up our GSX and then get ready to begin our pushback, so we can say prepare for pushback and departure, and just watch the crew set up the aircraft from the outside. Just waiting to break past the white line. There we go. Engines are past the white line. And then let's start our engines up. So we will be starting with the engine on our left hand side. So we can turn on the packs on the left, turn off the packs on the left, and then we can start up our engine on the left hand side. So we will hit the ground switch.
Radar 981 via India
Wait
cross
for our
runway
N2
03 left,
to go
taxi to holding
above
point Bravo, runway 03 left,
and then we
via
will
India
introduce
Alpha
our
Bravo.
fuel.
Via India cross runway 03 left,
We are above
taxi to
20,
holding point
introducing
Bravo,
the
runway
fuel.
03 left, via India Alpha Bravo, Feather
And let's
981.
monitor the starter.
Link 861 Charlie, contact OR Tambo Tower 118.1.
Over to Tower 118.1, link 861 Charlie.
SAFAIR 210, request taxi to the active. SAFAIR 210, taxi to holding point Bravo, runway 03 left, via Foxtrot, Alpha Bravo. Taxi to holding point Bravo, runway 03 left, via Foxtrot,
Okay,
Alpha
engines
Bravo,
have
SAFAIR
stabilized.
210.
Let's set our parking brakes, so apply brakes, pull up our parking brake, perfect. And then let's start the next engine on the right hand side, so the pegs can come off on
All
the right hand
aircraft be
side.
advised information Zulu now current, QNH 1029.
We'll just monitor, wait for the N2 to go above 20. There we go, introduce the fuel.
981.
Engines are stable, throttles are in the right place, we are all good. Alright, pen in hand. Perfect, we got our pen in hand. And our signature wave. Co-pilot, continue to request taxi to the active.
SAFAIR 500, request taxi to the active.
SAFAIR 500, taxi to holding point Bravo, runway 03 left, via Foxtrot, Alpha Bravo.
Taxi to holding point Bravo, runway 03 left, via Foxtrot, Alpha Bravo, SAFAIR 500.
Zulu Sierra Oscar,
Oh,
Romeo
lovely, there
Papa,
we
contact OR Tambo Tower 118.1.
Over
Perfect
to Tower
routing.
118.1, Zulu Sierra Oscar Romeo Papa.
We are pushing 100% traffic injection via beyond
taxi to the
ATC. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of
AirZambia
traffic.
304, taxi to holding point Bravo,
Runway turn
runway
off lights
03
can
left,
be
via
turned
Echo,
on,
Foxtrot,
and then
Alpha
our
Bravo.
taxi light can be
Taxi
turned
to holding
on
point
as well.
Bravo, runway 03 left,
Right,
via Echo,
release the
Foxtrot,
parking brakes,
Alpha
so then
Bravo,
let's make our way
AirZambia
forward.
304.
So around 40%. Nice takeoff there. Get back on center.
SAFAIR 210, contact OR Tambo Tower 118.1 bye-bye. Contact Tower 118.1, SAFAIR 210.
Watch our taxi speed. Stay below 30 knots. We will look and see what our cabin is like. So cabin is secure for takeoff, cabin crew seated for takeoff. Perfect. Cabin is all good. Company traffic about to take off.
Link 150 Sierra, gate Foxtrot 62, request pushback.
Link 150 Sierra, OR Tambo apron, pushback approved. Face east.
Pushback and engine start approved. Face east, link 150 Sierra.
SAFAir 500, contact OR Tambo Tower 118.1. Over to Tower 118.1, SAFAir 500.
SAFAir 210, contact Johannesburg radar 123.7.
Contact Johannesburg radar 123.7, SAFAir 210.
And we will just hold right here. Pull up our parking brake for now.
Air Zambia 304, ready for departure, runway 03 left.
And then let's turn on our landing
Air Zambia
lights.
304, tower
as
number
well
2
as
for
the
departure.
Copy number 2, Air Zambia 304.
And then we are all good for now. Auto throttle can come on. Co-pilot request departure.
SAFAir 500, ready for departure, runway 03 left.
SAFAir 500, OR Tambo Tower, wind 010 degrees, 6 knots, runway 03 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 03 left, cleared for takeoff. SAFAir 500.
Okay, we've been cleared for takeoff. We can stop the clock here and just leave the elapsed timer running. Let's make our way onto the runway. Reduce our speed. Just make sure we time out turn
Air
in
Zambia
correctly.
304, ready for departure, runway 03 left.
Air Zambia 304, hold short of runway 03 left.
Holding short of runway 03 left, Air Zambia 304.
Start out turn in. Align the aircraft. Beautiful runway here. Yep, we're all nice and aligned. Let's just hold for the parking brake can come on. Let's do our final checks. TARA can be turned on. We want to turn on the weather and terrain, and turning on the weather and terrain will activate the weather on my side, terrain on the co-pilot side, give him a bit of a bigger range to look at, turn on the traffic on my side as well, maybe slightly increase my range, but no, that's fine. Okay, so auto brake set to RTO, flaps green, we have flaps 1 set up, V2 has been set up, heading has been set up, LNAV, VNAV is in position, takeoff lights have been turned on, runway turn off lights on, taxi light on, APU off, logo lights off, strobe lights have been turned on, anti-collision light is on, cruise altitude has been set up, hex are running, and we are all good to go. Alright captains, let's make our way out of here then. We will release the parking brake, throttles to 40% and then slight nose down pressure. Engines are running smoothly. Let's set our takeoff throttle or takeoff thrust. Hit the toggle button, keep it on the center with our nose down pressure. Engines sound beautiful.
Runway 03 left, line up and wait.
Runway 03 left, line up and wait. Air Zambia
Safair 500.
Beautiful departure.
Johannesburg radar, Safair 500, 6,500 feet.
Safair 500, Johannesburg
Turn on the
radar, good day.
autopilot.
Identified, climb to flight level 160.
Climb to
Will be
flight
given
level
160.
160, Safair 500.
Let's have a view outside. Beautiful scenes over there. Leaving Kempton Park, flying over Kempton Park. Very nice. Leaving Johannesburg. Okay, approaching the flaps up speed. Flaps up. Auto brakes can be set to off. Wheel can be set to off. And we are climbing beautifully. Let's watch out for our 10,000 foot marker. We've hit our transition altitude of 8,000 feet. QNH can be flipped to standard. Beautiful climb. Let's hop outside to have a look. Beautiful climb, 10,000. Aircraft is going to begin its acceleration up until our next set V speed over here. We can increase the range. We've got about to our cruising altitude. We should be hitting it at 8:44 Zulu, so in the next 13 minutes. Beautiful, beautiful scenes, I tell you. There's the airport, power station. Very nice.
All aircraft be advised, information Alpha now current QNH 1028.
Here we go, turning over Midrand, then we'll be flying over Randburg, Rodeport, and then making our way. Let's zoom in for a bit more detail. We still see the town names. We switch to Navigraph.
Safair 500, contact Johannesburg, control west 118.5.
Center on 118.5, Safair 500. Johannesburg control west, Safair 500, through flight level 134 for flight level 160.
Hey, flying over Randburg now.
Descend to flight level 190.
Descend to flight level 190, link 82.
Safair 500, Johannesburg control west. Identified, climb to flight level 320.
Climb
Hey,
to flight level
we've
320,
been given clearance to
Safair
our cruising
500.
altitude, 320. Perfect. Climbing rate very strong. We're doing very well.
Johannesburg control west Zulu Sierra Kilo X-ray Papa flight level 247.
captain's just waiting for us to hit the top of climb. So yeah, we'll just wait for it. Can enjoy some views, enjoy the climb, have a look at what's happening in the cabin. Next service is drinks and it's in the next 7 minutes. You can turn on the seatbelt signs, turn them off as well. captains, I'm back in the seat.
772 Heavy, Cape Town Control East.
We have about,
Expect orders 1 Charlie, runway 01.
10 minutes to the top of descent.
Runway 01.
We'll just be listening in on the radio and listening in for the arrival procedure that we have to follow.
Descend to flight level 130, Globe 131 Juliet.
No weather so far, so we're still good. And then let's go to our fixed page and let's just set our, what do you call this? So we go infect. And then we can set our radial for 100 nautical miles so we can listen in on the arrival ATIS. Perfect. Can tune into the frequency or set it up in the meantime. So for our arrival ATIS we have 127.0. What's child lock?
Broken 300 feet, temperature 15 degrees, depth point 15 degrees, UNH 1015, scattered 1,200 feet, landing, departing runway 01, transition level 080, advise on initial contact, you have information tango. Cape Town Airport information tango, 0916 Zulu, surface wind 360 degrees, 12 knots, visibility 7 kilometers, broken 300 feet, temperature 15 degrees, depth point 15 degrees, UNH 1015, scattered 1,200 feet, landing, departing runway 01, transition level 080, advise on initial contact, you have information tango.
Alright, we actually managed to listen in on the arrival ATIS. So we do have information tango on board QNH 1015, so we can just set this up also.
131 Juliet, descend to flight level 110.
Descend to flight level 110, Globe 131 Juliet.
Our transition altitude is 8,000 feet. Perfect, execute, we're all good on that. And then we are going to arrive at runway 01 or via runway 01. So we are still good on that. QNH 1015. And then we have scattered clouds for the time being. Okay, winds 360 at 12 knots. Alright. I'm happy with that.
Emirates 772 Heavy, Otis 1 Charlie, runway 01, report ready for descent.
Otis 1 Charlie, runway 01, ready for descent, Emirates 772 Heavy.
Emirates 772 Heavy, descend to flight level 240.
Descend to flight level 240, Emirates 772 Heavy.
Globe 131 Juliet, cross CT 833 at or above flight level 100. Then descend to 6,500
just
feet,
listen in.
QNH 1015.
And then because for arrival
Cross
we are going to be
833 at or
01.
above flight level 100.
We can just
descend to
search for it.
6,500 feet, QNH 1015, Global 131 Juliet.
We'll take the ILS as well as the RNFs, just pin these. And we'll just listen in on what they give to us. And keep it on the star page, and yeah, that's it. So Erdus is our arrival waypoint, or transition waypoint, so it does lead to 01, so we can pin that as well. Okay, we do have everything that we need, star approach, and then it's just to listen in.
31 Juliet. Contact Cape Town Director 124.35.
Contact Cape Town Director 124.35, Globe 131 Juliet.
Zulu Sierra Charlie Oscar November, Cape Town Control East. Expect sail in 1 Bravo, runway 11.
Expect sail in 1 Bravo, runway 11 Zulu Sierra Charlie Oscar November.
SAFAIR 500, Cape Town Control East. Expect Otis 1 Charlie, runway 01.
Expect Erdas 1 Charlie, runway
Got
01,
Erdas 1
SAFAIR
Charlie
500.
01, so arrival Erdas 1 Charlie, ILS 01 for now, and then transition the via will get that when we tune into approach. So I am happy with that, and yeah, let's go to our legs page. We're going to pull in our weather discontinuity runway 01, fix, insert that there, clear that, and then we need one for 25. Let's maintain the 100, then we'll need one for 25, 15, copy this again, and one for 10 and 5. Nice. Okay, got that set up pretty nicely. Let's have a look at our charts. So Erdas, we need to be above 15,000 feet by the time we hit Erdas, and then we drop below. We do have some constraints, speed constraints, that nice. Okay, and then neutral 6,500. So we're going to be flying over the sea and then making our approach from the seaside and heading that way. So we should be able to see Table Mountain on our right hand side. I am interested in having a look at what Builds has done in terms of, you know, generating the scenery for Table Mountain, as well as that was one of their selling points, that they fixed the way Table Mountain looks. So it's going to give us a nice view on our right hand side.
SAFAIR 210, descend to flight level 190.
Descend to flight level 190, SAFAIR 210.
Right, 40 nautical miles. Co-pilot Colin, ready for descent.
SAFAIR 500, approaching our top of descent, ready for descent.
SAFAIR 500, Otis 1 Charlie, runway 01, descend to flight level 240.
Erdas 1 Charlie, runway 01, descend to flight level 240, SAFAIR 500.
Right, let's begin our descent. We got 240, and then I want to have a look at the ILS frequencies. We'll keep these, and then we will keep them. Should we have the RNAV approach given to us, we'll still keep the ILS and use the ILS system. I had an encounter the last time where the weather was just really so bad that you couldn't even see after minimums were called. So yeah, it will assist in those instances to just perform an auto land. But yeah, let's continue to set up the flight. So the localizer frequency 110.3, we can just set that up. 110.3, bring that up. Perfect. And the localizer should be CTI when we do pick up the frequency as we get closer. Final approach course is 11 degrees, so we can set that up as well. Then the approach altitude is 2,000 feet. That's fine. Runway elevation 144, so we can just put 100 here. And because we are descending, seatbelt signs can come on again. Just didn't set this one up, so track 1, and then you can keep this there. It's fine. Alright, and then for our minimums, refer to the bottom here. So our minimum is 344, so we can just set that up as well. Minimums 344. Perfect. Initialization page.
Descend to flight level 160.
Descend to flight level 160, SAFAIR 210.
Okay. And then on our speed, final approach speed will be 143 knots with a full flaps configuration. So we've got that set up as well. Perfect. I'm happy with that. We can pull up a bit of the speed brake so that we can stay on profile. Nice. Right. Oh good, let's enjoy the descent. Watch out for 10,000 feet so that we can turn on our lights and then wait. And then just listen once we tune into the approach frequency.
Cape Town Control East, identify.
So we've got a very mountainous area. As you can see, we are picking up some terrain over there, and it's looking at these mountains, so it will be very helpful to keep this on so that we can just ensure that we are always above the terrain.
Cape Town Control, East SAFAIR 800, good day, flight level 358.
SAFAIR 800, Cape Town Control
Let's
East,
do it like
radar
this.
contact.
Let's do our arrival calculations. So we can go to performance, landing, dispatch. We got runway 01. Conditions are dry, no rain reported. We'll be doing a full flaps landing. Import the weather and then hit calculate. So we have around 3.2 kilometers worth of runway for landing. That's very nice. So I am going to be aiming for a smooth landing as I've got some nice runway real estate to try and extend the flare as much as possible. Then landing en route, we can just import the aircraft details, full flaps, and the weather. And if we hit calculate, it says we are overweight, so we will just automatically switch to a auto brake 3 setting for our landing. Right, I'm happy with that. And I think the last thing we will need just have a look at our for the ILS here, the go around procedure. So you come in, and then when you miss the approach, when cleared, complete the approach. Okay, 240 coming up, I will just set up 230 instead of 240. Beyond ATC tends to be a little bit behind with the descent.
Turkish 10 Juliet Heavy. Contact Cape Town Director 124.35.
Contact Cape Town Director 124.35, Turkish 10 Juliet Heavy.
Pull up the speed brake a bit as we are off profile, so we are slightly high. And I think I'll just set the altitude required now, which is our approach altitude of 2,000 feet for now. I'll adjust it when ATC comes back to its senses, so that we can just maintain the correct descent and we don't find ourselves flying too high.
SAFAIR 500, descend to flight level 190.
Descend to flight level 190, SAFAIR 500.
That's fine, we're still good. We choose the range. Happy with that. Okay. Missed approach, communicate failure. So you climb 6,500 while maintaining the runway heading to D2, and then at D2 you're gonna turn left heading 330 degrees in order to intercept radial 346. Okay.
SAFAIR 210, descend to flight level 110.
Descend to flight level 110, SAFAIR 210.
It's fine. To the VOR, continue to D67 CTV. Okay. There you go. Right, no, that's fine, and then we're gonna hold at some point. Alright, that's fine.
Emirates 772 Heavy, descend to flight level 190.
Descend to flight level 190, Emirates 772 Heavy.
Okay, I'm happy with that, and then let's have a look at the airport chart so
SAFAIR
that we
210,
can...
cross CTA 33 at or above flight level 100, then descend to 6,500 feet, QNH 1015.
Cross CTA 833 at or above flight
So
level
we'll be
100,
coming in
then
at
descend to
01,
6,500 feet,
and then our
QNH 1015, SAFAIR 210.
Okay, so land and then maybe try not to go to the end. Try and maybe hit taxiway E over here and then make it into the terminals. Yeah, so we do have some space for that. Maybe a quick touchdown and then we turn on E so that we avoid this whole leg, but we'll see how it goes. Right, perfect.
Control East, SAFAIR 108, passing flight level 150 for flight level 180.
SAFAIR 210, contact Cape Town Director 124.35.
Contact Cape Town Director 124.35, SAFAIR 210.
SAFAIR 500, descend to flight level 160.
Descend to flight level 160, SAFAIR 500.
SAFAIR 108, Cape Town Control East. Good day. Identified. Climb to flight level 370.
Climb to flight level 370, SAFAIR 108.
Emirates 772 Heavy, descend to flight level 160.
Descend to flight level 160, Emirates 772 Heavy.
Right, we are still on profile 16,000 feet. Let's continue to watch our approach on the star. So minimum is 15,000. The constraint that we need to have is 15,000 feet. Yep, we are so above 15,000, so we are still good. Okay. Nice mountains of Stellenbosch over here, and the big wine farms. the vineyards. Very nice. We have a bit of a cloud setup here, so we might have the famous tablecloth.
Descend to flight level 130.
Descent to flight level 130, Safair 500.
The famous tablecloth over Table Mountain.
Emirates 772 heavy, reduce speed 190 knots.
Reduce speed 190 knots, Emirates 772 heavy.
Okay, so yep, aiming for 13,000 there. I just want to have a look for my speed setups here. We've maintained the speed as required, so we'll see. Max 230 knots.
Emirates 772 heavy, descend to flight level 130.
Descend to flight level 130, Emirates 772 heavy.
There's the coastline. Table Mountain should be on this side. And switch to the co-pilot seat. There we go.
Safair 500, descend to flight level 110.
Descend to flight level 110, Safair 500.
Safair 500, cross ETA tree triad or above flight level 100, then descend to 6,500 feet, QNH 1014.
Cross CA33 at or above flight level 100, then descend to 6,500 feet, QNH 1014, Safair 500.
QNH 1014.
Emirates 772 heavy, descend to flight level 110.
Descend to flight level 110, Emirates 772 heavy.
So at Utro, let's see where we will be. Utro 6,500, so we'll set air hard. Altitude there for 6,500, fairly direct. There we go.
Emirates 772 heavy, cross ETA tree at or above flight level 100, then descend to 6,500 feet, QNH 1014.
Cross CT-833 at or above flight level 100, then descend to 6,500 feet, QNH 1014, Emirates 77 to heavy.
Right, we should be able to approach.
Contact Cape Town Director 124.35.
Contact Cape Town
And then
Director
we'll get our via frequency
124.35.
right now,
Safair
so
500.
just listen out for that.
Cape Town Director, Safair 500. Good day, flight level 109. We have uniform on board.
Safair 500, Cape Town Director, QNH 1014, expect the RNAV runway 01 with the Atira transition.
QNH 1014, expect the RNAV runway 01 with the Atira transition. Safair 500.
Yeah, RNF 01 Uturo transition. Execute. There we go. There's a nice swing around. Perfect. So at around 15 nautical miles, we should
Safair
be doing
500, clear direct Atira, cross Atira at or above 6,500 feet, cleared RNAV runway 01.
Clear direct Adira, cross Adira at or above 6,500 feet, cleared RNAV runway 01, Safair 500.
we should be doing 180 knots around the 15 nautical mark. So we are
Emirates
still
77 to
good.
heavy, Cape Town Director, QNH 1014, expect the RNAV runway 01 with the Atira transition.
QNH 1014, expect the RNAV runway 01 with the Atira transition, Emirates 77 to heavy.
Alright, you can start slowing down the aircraft, manual speed intervention. Then we want to do the flaps up speed.
Emirates 77 to heavy, clear direct Atira, cross Atira at or above 6,500 feet, cleared RNAV runway 01.
Cleared direct Atira, cross Atira at or above 6,500 feet, cleared RNAV runway 01, Emirates 77 to heavy.
Okay, then we are below 250 knots, so we can engage the flaps 1 speed just to help with the deceleration. We can engage flaps 1, I meant.
Emirates 77 to heavy, reduce speed 180 knots.
Reduce speed 180 knots, Emirates 77 to heavy.
We need to be making our turn at around 160 knots. We'll decrease the speed. Move flaps around.
Safair 500, minimum approach speed.
Minimum approach speed, Safair 500.
Okay, minimum approach speed 143. And let's continue working through our flaps. So flaps 5 selected.
Safair 210, contact Cape Town Tower 118.1.
Over to Tower 118.1, Safair 210.
We are close to 10 nautical miles, and because we called for minimum approach, we can drop our gear as well. And then the moment we hit below 160, we can deploy more flaps. Then we will turn on the localizer.
Airspeed low.
Right, let's deploy all our flaps, full flaps. When we can hit approach, okay, we've captured the glide. Just waiting to capture the localizer so that it aligns us accordingly. And we are at minimum approach speed anyway, so we don't have to mind the speed for the 5-mile marker. Alright. All lights are on.
SAFAIR 500, resume normal speed.
Resume normal speed, SAFAIR 500.
Okay, normal speed for now would be doing around 160. I think we can push it up to 160. Tuck in a bit of the flaps. There we go. There we go, 160 should be fine for now. That's our normal speed. Both the autopilots are on, so we are good for an auto land, and VOR has been intercepted as well, the localizer, so we are good as well. Watching out for the 5,000 foot marker.
African Sky 379 Victor, Cape Town
Beautiful
director, good day.
Table Mountain is right over there, everybody. Let's have a look at our approach.
Expect the RNAV runway 01 with the accurate transition. African Sky 379 Victor.
There you go, there's Table Mountain. You can't see through the clouds. The famous tablecloth is on there. Right, we can start reducing now to our approach speed, which has been set to 143. So we can select 143.
SAFAIR 500, contact Cape Town Tower 118.1.
Contact Tower 118.1, SAFAIR 500.
Full flaps selected.
Cape Town Tower, SAFAIR 500, RNAV runway 01.
SAFAIR 500, Cape Town Tower, wind 360 degrees, 13 knots, runway 01 cleared to land.
Runway 01 cleared to land, SAFAIR 500.
We are in the middle and we've got good positioning on the glide as well. Right, there we go. And there's the airport, there's the runway, good sight, so even if we do call in the minimums, we are still set. And then they did say that our go around altitude 6.5. Perfect. And there we go, everybody. There's the mountain over there. Thousand foot call. Aircraft is in my control.
All aircraft be advised information Victor now current QNH 1014.
Try and center up as best as we can. Maintain the glide. Keep it on center. Slightly left. We are still good on the glide. Maintain that. It's going to be my first landing after a very long time. Center up.
Emirates 77 to heavy, take down tower, continue. 300.
Emirates 77 to heavy.
Approaching minimums. 200 minimums.
Continue.
100.
Center, perfect.
50.
Over
40. 30. 20. 10.
Alright. Slightly towards the left hand side, not bad. My first landing after a long time. Below 80, reverses can be tucked away. Alright, flaps can be tucked in. And proceed to slow down.
Saturn 500, exit next available taxiway.
Exit next available taxiway. Sapphire 500.
Exit right here. Landing lights can come off as soon as we are off the runway. Make our turning perfect. Alright. Auto brakes can come off.
Emirates 77 to heavy, wind 360 degrees, 13 knots, runway 01
Weather
clear to
radar
land.
can come off.
Runway
Terrain.
01 clear to land. Emirates 77 to heavy.
Sapphire
Landing
500,
lights.
contact ground 121.9er.
Ground 121.9er. Sapphire
Slow down
500.
so that we get our gate, assigned gate. APU can come on. Request taxi to the
Sapphire
assigned gate.
500. Request taxi to company gate.
Sapphire 500, taxi to stand Alpha 8 via Echo Alpha.
Taxi to stand Alpha 8 via Echo Alpha Sapphire 500.
Stand 8 via Alpha, okay. There we go, good landing. We are off the runway, so strobes can come off now. Make our way in. Not bad. Very skew though on the landing, but anyway, it's been a while. As long as my landing is below 300 feet per minute, then I'll be happy. If it can come off. Then we'll look for Alpha 8, which is going to be our next turn right here. So the runway turn-off lights can come off as well as the taxi lights, because we don't want to blind the ground crew. And then we will make our turn into Alpha 8. There we go, start our turn. Make sure we are well aligned.
Emirates 772 heavy, taxi to stand Alpha 5 via Alpha, cross runway 16. Taxi to
Just
stand
want to
Alpha
check
5
the
via Alpha, cross runway 16, Emirates
because
772 heavy.
Alright, we are still fine. I'm just not getting any. Okay. Now we are at Alpha 8.
Cabin 2, eastbound doors, cross check.
And I will stop right there. Might be a bit short, but anyway, let's pull up our parking brake. Perfect. The APU is on. We can flip to our APU and then turn on the APU bleed. Close the engine bleeds for now. Alright, seatbelt signs can come off shortly. So we are parked, we are happy with our parking. Let us turn off our engines. Seatbelt signs can come off. Anti-collision light can come off as well. Let's set our chocks. Stop the clock. Stop the elapse timer. Perfect. And then our N1 has reduced significantly, so we can request for deboarding.
Deboarding requested.
Perfect. Right, I'm happy with that. Let's have a look. The jetway, yeah, it's connecting perfectly, so we are happy. I'm happy with that, captains. Was a good first flight after a long time. Let's just pull up our A Pilot's Life Chapter 2 ratings, and then we can see how we performed on this flight. So I'll bring it up on the screen. Let's head over to our logbook. Right, we scored 100% for that flight. Let's open up the report. And yeah, let's have a look. Make this bigger so we can see. So we scored 100% for everything. Beautiful landing at 274 feet per minute with a landing g-force of 1.17. so we did very nice. It was a nice and smooth landing. As you can see, we obeyed everything correctly, so we've still got it. Geez, I'm happy about that. And then let's have a look at our landing details. Can make this bigger. In terms of our touchdown, very nice. Slightly towards the left, like I did say, so we just need to fix our alignment when we do come down. And then we did land within the touchdown markers. That was our aim point, and we landed well within our touchdown markers, which then allowed us to take the planned runway turn-off that we wanted. So we are happy with that. Again, landing rate 274 feet per minute, pitch of 3 degrees. Wind speed, we're looking at 15 knots. And then we had a landing g-force of 117. So that's pretty good. I'm happy about that. That was very smooth. And that's Cape Town, everybody. That's our arrival into Cape Town. We can have a zoom out and have a look. We did come over the sea again, and then we came through like that, Table Mountain being on our left hand side. Beautiful mountains around Stellenbosch and so forth. Very nice, very nice. So we can also head back into the sim, and let's have a look at our self-loading cargo rating as well. So we can make this, I think, bigger. There we go. Let's make it bigger so that we can read it and then move it around as well. So we got a flight summary rating of an A-. The reviews that this was a great flight. We scored well. Captain ratings, I got 80% on that. Aircraft control was very good. In-flight management, they gave me bad for that. Airline SOP adherence, they gave me a good on that. So we did okay. The passengers did enjoy the flight. They said 36% of them were saying that the landing was very good. They were able to relax and so forth. They just didn't enjoy the movie that was played, and then they were starting to feel restless during the taxi delay, which we didn't have, but they had a mixed experience as well because of the Wi-Fi being turned off, and then they didn't enjoy reading the flight magazine. But anyway, our passenger ratings, we did receive an excellent rating. As you can see, personal experiences on the good side. Food and entertainment was good and 100% recommended. So very good flight, everybody. 274 feet per minute, touchdown, G-force rating of 1.17. I'm ecstatic about that, captains. So yeah, 2 hours and 8 minutes on flight. Very nice flight. I'm so happy, so good to be back in the captain's seat. It's good to come back to such a great landing as well. Beautiful scenery from Builds on both the OR Tambo side as well as the Cape Town side. There's our passengers deboarding very nicely. So yeah, man, I'm happy about that, captains. On that note, captains, I'd like to say thank you so much for joining me on this flight for today. It's been wonderful flying with you, and it's been wonderful being back in the seat. I look forward to coming back and sharing my flight experiences with you. But then, while we are on that note, captains, I'd just like to encourage you to please do hit the like button if you did like the video, and then please do continue to hit the subscribe button as well and the notification bell icon so that you can be notified of any future uploads. But then, well, captains, until then, I will see you next time. Let's just continue enjoying our love for aviation and continue to share, you know, the sightings that we see in this beautiful country at our airports and of the visiting aircraft that we do have. But until then, keep well, captains, and see you next time. Goodbye.